Itong lumabas ngayon sa Pulse Asia, ito yung trust rating ha. Trust rating ang pag-uusapan natin dito. Ibig sabihin yung tiwala sa mga tao sa presidente ngayon, o tiwala sa mga tao yung panggobyerno ni Bongbong Marcos sa Pilipinas kung ano nga ba. Lagapak, dublidagok ni Bongbong Marcos to kasi katatapos lang ng midterm election ay nagiging buntot ang kanyang mga kandidato sa midterm election sa mga senatorial candidate. At ito na naman ngayon, nilabas ng Pulse Asia Survey ang kanilang survey nga nitong sa trust rating. At partida pa ha, itong si dating Pangulong Duterte nasa kulungan, nasa dahig. Wala naman kung tutuusin to, yung survey na to. Anong saysay ni Pangulong Duterte nito? Nasa dahig na, anong ginagawa niya? Yun lang, simple lang, intindihin natin. At ito, anong nangyari kay Bongbong Marcos? Nilampaso ng husto at nilampaso ni Pangulong Duterte, nilampaso pa ni nitong si Sara Duterte, si VP Sara Duterte, ito si Bongbong Marcos. Ay nako naman, kamalas talaga ni Bongbong Marcos nitong taon 2025. Mukhang first quarter ni Bongbong hindi talaga siya gumagana. Ibig ko hindi gumagana talaga yung trabaho niya. Nag-revamp na. Sa bagay, itong survey na ito, hindi papasok yung pagre-revamp niya. Pakinggan natin yung balita ng itong sa big story ng 1PH. Ito yung balita. In-interview itong sa taga Pulse Asia.
Net trust ratings of President Bongbong Marcos are now in the negative or days before Bilang Pilipino
negative.
2025. Only 32% of respondents
Tingnan
said
niyo naman,
they have big trust in the president, while 42%
Kulang-kulang.
expressed small or no trust. With 27% saying they are unsure, these result in a net trust rating of negative 10 for Mr. Marcos.
Diyos ko po.
On the other hand, Vice President Sara Duterte and her father, former President Digong, were more trusted between May 6 and 9 or when the survey was conducted. 50% said they have big trust on the VP, while 25% had little or no trust, bringing her rating to positive 25%. Meanwhile, the former president earned the highest trust rating among the three with a net trust rating of positive 46. The Pulse Asia survey had 1,200 respondents and an error margin of plus minus 2.8%. Now again, do note that these findings were before the conduct of the midterm elections and way before the so-called Great Cabinet revamp of the Marcos administration.
Let's have a quick chat with
tayo
Pulse
dyan.
Asia President Ronald
Pulang-pula,
Holmes.
di ba?
To you, Ron, and welcome
Parang
to the
ginaganon
Big
siya
Story.
Pick up mo, Marcos.
Bakit daw ngayon lang ang ratings when this was finished before the elections?
Nako.
Well, it took quite some time for us to process the data, and then the other thing that
Ano
we
to
had
siya?
to
Si Ronald Holmes.
because part of the general report that we issued had to do with explaining the variance between the election survey and the actual results. We had to cull the data from the COMELEC. So this is not the only thing in that survey. So aside from the election data, we also have the trust ratings of the top two officials and the former president.
Not because you were protecting anybody from a big drop in ratings. That wasn't.
Well, we saw a big drop already, Sis.
Sino
as
nga
soon
ba?
as March,
Sis Drilon, no?
if I
May interview.
remember, when Bongbong Marcos had 25% approval and trust, which is almost the same as what
Hindi ko mana yung
GP
mukha
had
niya.
prior to the midterm. But in March, if you remember, he had a disapproval and distrust that was at the majority. Somehow his distrust has gone down to less than the majority from March 2025. But it's still quite a plurality, 4 out of 10 Filipinos.
Right. Also, something new in this survey because you
Sis Drilon.
survey the approval ratings of our top officials, and we have a former president included here. What decision was behind? What made you decide to do that?
Well, we've done this before, where we had former President Estrada, former President GMA, and former President even the late Pinoy. We included in class ratings after their term. The main reason for that is that we wanted also to check the extent by which these personalities, who are still public figures to begin with, are still with substantial influence, or at least people would view them as trustworthy. In the case of the former president, of course, as social scientists, we need to find out essentially whether there's an erosion or a sustenance or even an increase in terms of the former president's trust rating. And we don't see that. We don't see that compared to the September survey, although his trust rating is higher than his daughter and than the sitting president right now.
Right.
Well, ito no, para sa akin, ako cabinet member nito, kung saan man akong ilagay sa posisyon dito sa gobyernong Marcos, kay Bongbong Marcos na pang-gobyerno talaga. Parang mahiya ako. Ganito kababa ang trust rating ng aking presidente tapos hindi alam kung paano to iangat. Tuloy-tuloy eh. Nung nakaraang buwan lang, 'di ba? 1 month ago, 'di ba naglabas din ng rating din ang anong kumpanya 'yon? Hindi ko na matandaan. Ang baba din. Tapos ngayon patuloy ang pagbaba niya. Hindi na talaga siya mapigilan na ibaba talaga sa hindi ba na umangat ng konti. Nandito talagang ingungudgud na talaga siya. Talagang hindi lang ilalampaso, talagang ingungudgud na yung mukha niya sa sahig hanggat makaramdam siya na hindi talaga ako bagay magpresidente dahil sa kahinaan talaga ng diskarte ko dito. Ito kasi si Bongbong Marcos, sa totoo lang, no, balikan natin yung ng 2022 election. Hindi naman talaga ito mananalo kung hindi lang dahil sa mga Duterte. Ganito kahina. Balikan natin yung 2016 election. Vice President. Naglaban, ito sila ni Bongbong Marcos at saka si Leni Robredo. Leni Robredo. Ano ba si Leni Robredo? Asawa siya ni dating DILG Secretary ni JC Robredo sa Bicol. Dito sa Naga, na mayor ngayon, sa kasaklay mayor ngayon si Leni Robredo. Pero tinalo nga ni Leni Robredo to si Bongbong Marcos. Nagprotesta pa nung natalo at lalo lumaki ang kanyang lamang ni Leni kay ni Bongbong Marcos. To sabihin nyo, maganda pa mamumuno si Bongbong Marcos. Por Dios, por santo nga naman itong mga tao talaga ngayon. Gamitin ang utak nyo. Kung anong klaseng presidente talaga ang Pilipinas ngayon. Kung ito ngayon, nagre-revamp, tingnan natin anong sunod nitong mangyayari sa kanyang trust rating. Revamp daw. Paano i-revamp niya na yung isa nilipat lang dito sa isang departamento, yung isa naman ni-retain lang sa kanyang posisyon. Parang kagaguhan lang, no? Kalukuhan lang ginagawa ni Bongbong Marcos. Sabi niya, umaksyon talaga si Bongbong Marcos. Patay tayo dyan, presidente. Hindi pa to ha. Midterm election pa ito. Sino kaya ang napupusuan ito na ipalit sa kanya pag yun ang i-endorse? Kawawa, hindi mananalo lalo.
Is higher than his daughter and even the sitting president right now.
Right. So this was commissioned or part of what you do on a periodic basis?
No, normally it says this is part of the last survey that we do prior to an election because when the survey that we publish is quite far from the election period, we do our own internal survey. We did this in 2022. We did it also if I'm not mistaken, in 2013. Because the last survey that we conducted before this survey was 3 weeks before the election. So what we did was we conducted our own survey closer to election day. The main purpose is really to measure pre-election preference. But I think we also decided that it's important for us to gauge the trust rating of the top 2 officials as well as a key personality that, if we can say, the rest of the former president did factor in terms of pre-election, in terms of shifts in votes or even the election results for that matter.
Okay, so I know this might be a long answer, Ronnie, no? But did it make you understand better why you got bakit malayo yung survey results sa binoto ng mga tao?
Even definitely, the May survey allowed us to at least get a sense of what were the shifts that happened on election day. One of the key questions that we normally have in surveys that we do prior to election day and even in the exit poll is to ask people when did they firm up their decision on who to vote for. As the survey shows, about 1 out of 3 Filipinos are saying the day before the election or the day of the election itself. So that's quite significant. No? That's 30%, 33% of the voting population. which is quite higher than what we registered in 2022 when about 1 out of 5 said the day before election. So it would not be surprising that there are shifts. But the other thing that we saw really is that the variances and the changes are really things that affected both camps, no? The Alianza and the Duterte camp. We saw an overestimation of the Duterte support and erosion of the Mindanao, meaning to say their machinery in Mindanao failed to sustain the levels of support registered in the survey because that's quite a significant drop. In the same manner, some Alianza candidates sustained their decline from 3 surveys prior to the May survey.
So mabuti na lang pala ginawa nyo to para may paliwanag.
Well, we normally do it. In 2022, we didn't publish it, but in 2022, what we had then was Robin Padilla and Rafi Tulfo tied for first and second place. Eventually, Robin Padilla went up to first. I think Rafi Tulfo's lead to the third position. It was Lona Regardo who got the second position then. So we do it for our own internal purposes, just to check, one of the functions of the survey.
Sandali lang, no? Ko lang, naisip ko lang ba kung bakit isinama pa si dating Pangulong Duterte dito sa kanilang sa survey sa Pulse Asia. Na totoosin natin si Pangulong Duterte, okay, dati siyang Pangulo, tapos kumandidato ng pagka-mayor. Bakit, ko lang sa Pulse Asia, bakit isinama dito si Pangulong Duterte? Kaya, parang civilian na nga siya eh. Tapos, titingnan mo sa mga survey na galing sa dating presidente, tapos isali mo sa survey. At ngayon, siya pa ang nagtatap sa survey na wala nga siyang ginawa eh. Sabi ko nga, kinulong na nga lahat-lahat dito eh. Partida, sobrang partida. Ito, hindi to sabihin natin na siya yung nakagalaw pa, na nakikipag-usap sa mga tao, nakuhaanan siya ng mga opinion kung anong dapat gawin. Wala eh. Nasa bilangguan ho ito eh. Isa pa dito sa abroad yan siya na kayo nakakulong. Hindi naman to nakakulong sa Pilipinas. At ito yung resulta ngayon na sobra talagang hindi ko sabihin nito kay Bongbong Marcos na ngudngud talaga to sa kanya. Hindi presidente ako, sobrang nakakahiya ako dito. Ex-president, mag-ama, mataas sa akin ang trust rating nito. Trust rating ang pinag-usapan eh. Ang tiwala ng mga tao, kung saan ang tiwala ng mga tao, di na natin ilayo yung resulta sa eleksyon kasi nandoon na yun eh. Na ang trust rating ni Bongbong Marcos, doon pa lang, hindi na talaga siya pwedeng makarecover pa. Kasi ang kanya mga kandidato, baon na talaga. At ito ngayon ang pumasok nito si Bam Aquino at saka itong si Kiko Pangilinan. Dahil sa kanyang rating talagang hindi talaga mapagkatiwalaan at yung mga kasamahan ngayon naglaglagan na eh. Kakahiya naman 'to presidente. Kung ako sa kanya nito, resign na lang siguro no. Palagay natin dito. Wala na tiwala yung mga tao nito eh. Pulang-pula yung rating mo, ba yan? Kung sa sa teleserye to, titigbakin na to eh. Wala ka nang walang advertiser papasok sa iyo eh. Wala mga patalastas ang papasok itong palabas na to eh. Gaya ito na kanyayari kay Bongbong Marcos. Sinong papasok nito na mga businessman nito, mga malalaking businessman na ang rating pala ng presidente hindi na mapagkatiwalaan. Ako, mga malalaking business dito sa saan mang bansa. Papasok ka sa Pilipinas, yung presidente hindi maganda yung performance, hindi nga pagkatiwalaan sa mga tao sa Pilipinas. Ano pa kaya yung mga nasa ibang bansa? Maglagak ka ng negosyo dyan? Diyos ko po. Tapos, ang mga nagdidipinsa kay Bongbong Marcos, parang to the effort talaga. Hanggang bituka talaga ang kanilang pagdidipinsa nito. Ay, nako. Ay, nako po naman, oh. Kakaya, di ba? Parang, anak ako ni BBM nito, iyak na lang siguro ako. Ay, daddy, ano ba nangyari sa'yo?
One of the functions of the survey, too expensive to do an exit poll, but one of the functions is you need to see whether these survey results are far from the actual results. Of course, an exit poll would be better.
Right. And finally, what would you attribute yung changing of the mind so close to election day. Is this usual or because of the uniqueness of the electoral contest this time?
I think it's partly the uniqueness of the electoral contest this time, the tension between the two prominent political families. As I said, for example, if you compare it to the result of the similar question we asked in 2022, when did they decide on who to vote for? 1 out of 5 Filipinos said the day before or the day itself of the election. In this survey, we see 1 out of 3 Filipinos saying the day before or the day of the election itself. So that's
Sandali lang, dito pala nakalagay ang sabi ng Pulse Asia on why trust rating of PBBM, VP Sara, Digong compared. Yun pala, kaya kanina sabi ko, bakit isinali pa si Digong dito? Si Pangulong Duterte, dating Pangulong Duterte. Kaya, ito pala yung nakalagay nga. Di ko napansin kanina eh. Charlie!
in a sense, it's already quite significant. Why is there an increase? And then the other thing that we saw when we compared the survey results with the results of the actual elections, we saw really an increase in terms of support, although some are marginal, some are statistically significant. On the part of some independent and progressive candidates, you had Heidi Mendoza, Luque Espiritu, the Bakabayan candidates. So, initially we were looking at undervotes, but I think that's not an explanation for the results, because the undervotes remain as what we polled in the survey. If you look at the data, I think about 240 million undervotes divided by the total turnout.
Okay.
It comes out to about 4.22, so that's about 8 fill-up rates, almost the same as what we had in the survey. So what people did probably was to change the people that they were voting for,
Yeah.
and that's where we see a shift. And there were 2 candidates that did not see any erosion in so far as their support. Others fell, but 2 candidates had possible increases, no? That's Mama Aquino and Kiko Pangilinan.
Yun na nga, sabi ko.
To explain why their ranks are higher.
All right, well, we thank you so much for joining the...
So, ganito ang nangyari kasi sa sa politika talaga sa Pilipinas, kahit sa Bisaya pag kagidlay-gidlay na. Sige, tiisin na lang talaga to kasi may natitira pa siyang mga 3 years. Tagal pa ng 3 years ha. Tapos dadaan pa tong tag-ulan na yan na naman, naalala ko nung nakaraang taon na mayroon siyang ginagawa daw na 5,500 na flood control. Ito na naman, mag-isip na naman dapat sila na ito, tag-ulan na naman. Dapat paghandaan na natin tong darating na tag-ulan kasi malay mo, itong linggo na tong o bukas, biglang babagsak ang ulan tapos babaha na naman, tapos pag bumaha na naman, isisi na naman dito sa sa dating administrasyon kasi ganito, ganyan, ganito, ganyan. Kasi lahat ng kapalpakan niya dito ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos talaga, wala siyang inaamin na sa kanyang palpak. Ang palpak ay nangyari pa noong nakaraang mga administrasyon. Ayaw niya yan na siya mayroong palpak. Ito na nga, trust rating na nagsabi, mga tao yan. Sa 2,000, buti nga 2,000 lang ang tinanong. Pero noong previous na midterm election, yun na pinaka-survey talaga ni Bongbong Marcos kung saan talaga siya. Di talaga siya maganda. So, ewan ko ba, bakit hanggang ngayon nandiyan pa. Dapat kasama na siya nag-revamp, no? Kasama na lang siya nag-step down na lang siya. Kung ayaw niya ipalit si VP Sara, okay lang. Kung sino yung gusto niya ipalit. Di naman po pwede nga yun kasi nasa yan, sa batas yan eh. Talagang vice presidente ang papalit sa iyo. Pag natigok ka kung ayaw mo na. Pero ganito, doon talaga nalalaman na ito si Bongbong Marcos talaga. Kailangan talaga ang kanyang administrasyon na may maganda talaga umalalay sa kanya. Ibig ko sabihin, maganda mga tauhan sa kanyang paligid. Pero ito ni-retain niya ulit. Birsamin, sa finance secretary, ito si Ricto. Tapos ibalik pa yung mga Rimulya. Wala nangyari sa kanyang pautot. Kuno. Wala. Ang tinanggalan niya yung sa DNR secretary, yung piluka, yung buhok. Ay, yung piluka. Piluka. Yung wig. Yung si Luisaga. Grabe. Kala ko Teresa Luisaga. Luisaga yun eh. So, ginoo ko itong presidente natin ngayon. Tapos, todo depensa pa tong mga nasa Malacanang, hindi lang sa Malacanang, ito nagba-vlog tungkol kay Bongbong Marcos na, oh grabe, napakagaling na presidente, napakatalinong presidente, talino, paano talino? Sunod-sunod na nga yung rating niyang lagapak eh. Hindi pa to, baka umabot to ng ano? Baka umabot to ng, ano na kayang sunod, ano bang sunod sa pula? Wala na no, sobra na talagang delikado sila. Pag pula kasi, pag stoplight, stop ka na eh. Ibig sabihin, stop muna. Naka-red ka eh. Pero ito mag-amang dating Pangulong Duterte sa kasi BP Sara, dito natin nakikita na ang mga tao doon pa rin talaga ang tiwala. Dito pa rin talaga ang tiwala ng mga tao. At itong impeachment ngayon na parating. So, pag ito si BP Sara ma-impeach, iwan ko lang kung ano mangyayari sa Pilipinas.